Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to episode 2, season 3, DPS The Next Level. It's our own podcast for Dayton Public Schools, by Dayton Public Schools, to be viewed by Dayton Public Schools. And actually, the kindergarten podcast went viral. Over 60,000 views. Lots of people saw that. So I'm pleased to be here today with our operations team. In particular, the custodial team specifically. I mean, they do other things, but we're going to talk about that today. And we're here because one of the things that I do when I walk in buildings is I immediately look to see how clean they are. So when I came 4 years ago as a business manager, that was a big deal to me. I think the way the building looks on the inside, well, outside too, but on the inside, I think tells us a lot about how much we care about children and the environment that they're in. And so I was fortunate enough during that time to work with the director of operations, Tiffany Powell, and I was able to add a few people to the team who I think really highly of, and I get pictures of all the fantastic buildings and how good they look all the time. In fact, that's my lesson plan. It tells me what building to go to because I always want to see clean buildings. So today, we're going to hear from the people who make those things happen. And I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves and then tell me a little bit about themselves. I know some of them personally, some of them I don't. Tiffany?
Tiffany Powell, Director of Operations. I have been with the district for just over 8 years. This is my second go around. I was here when the not so new buildings were being built. And I left for a little bit, and I'm so glad to be back.
Gotcha. Jordan?
My name is Jordan Hickman. I am the head night custodian at Stivers. I've been with the district for, I've lost count now, I'm going to say 17 years.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Man, you don't even look 17.
I'm 37, so I've been around for a while.
Miss Green, say your first name so I don't pronounce it wrong for the rest of the podcast.
Nakia.
Nakia, because I want to say that right. We're on camera.
Okay. Well, I'm assistant custodian for now. I'm also acting head at Eastmont Elementary.
Whoa.
Yes.
Nakia,
Yes.
you're at Eastmont?
I'm at Eastmont.
You're replacing a legend.
I know. I have big shoes to fill.
Oh, man. I used to just come in and throw my sandwich on the ground and eat it. Just throw it on the ground so clean in there, just pick it up. I mean, Ron is the man.
Yeah, he is.
For
He
real.
is. And I appreciate him
Next
because he
level
keeps the building
clean
very
there.
clean. I'm fairly new. This is my second year. I'm going on my third year with the district. So you will be seeing a lot of me. Hopefully, I'm taking a test right now to become head. So y'all wish me luck.
Nakia, I got to get out to Eastmont.
Yeah,
This
come
is,
join us.
Week 5 coming up next
Right.
week, and I've not been there. My focus has been high schools, but I typically go everywhere. And I have not been there yet, so I got to
Oh, well, I'm assistant at Horseman. That's why I'm assistant at right now.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Of course, man. Okay, I've been there. I've been there this year. Been out
Yeah.
there to shop it up with Garrett.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Miss Moss. All right, the Midas touch, Mike Ogle.
Hello, everyone. Mike Ogle, operations coordinator. Next week, mark my 20th year with Dayton Public Schools.
Really?
Yeah. I've been with operations since 05.
I know a little bit about the Midas touch is what I call him because everything he touches turns to gold. He has a wonderful wife and family and is just really good people. Embodies the ethos and the pathology of what we want in Dayton Public Schools in terms of staff. I appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate you.
My name is Katina Taylor, operation coordinator. I've been with Dayton Public Schools for almost 26 years, it'll be. And I've been at schools that's not even here anymore, but I love doing my job with Dayton Public Schools.
So, I asked how you got here. I asked you tell a little bit about yourself. This is going to be an opportunity for me to tell a little bit about myself on camera. I don't do this often.
Okay.
I talk about tangential things or things that aren't like surface. But I'm at home the other day, and when I get home each evening, I spend about an hour and a half sitting on the couch talking to my significant other, girlfriend, Megan Winston, who's going to be the superintendent in Yellow Springs, former principal at Horace Mann. And we were talking last night, and she said that when her superintendent, the current one, because she's an assistant now before she goes to that job next year, her talking to you, Yellow Springs has an offer out for you right now.
Yes.
They got an offer out for you right now, and I cut it up in trash and burn it up. Yeah, it's gone to let Megan when I went on get on her computer, I just slid it over to the shredder, put it in the recycle, took the trash out. So your offer is from Yellow Springs is not coming. Okay, let's get it started. What motivates you to make the buildings look beautiful? What motivates you to do it?
The students.
Ooh, out the gate. I love it.
Yes, the students for me, because I'm a mother myself, and I would not want my son to attend any school that's not sanitized or any bathrooms that's not clean or anything on the floor for his health. So with me, I would say the students.
Yeah, I would say the students and the community. When you come to a building, and when the kids come to the building, we want to make sure that everything is clean and everything is up to par. So the teachers, admin, students, they can start the day off right. Clean building.
I love it.
Yes, sir.
And both said it with passion.
That's true. But it is the students, the staff, the guests, everybody that come in the buildings. That's what we do it for. And then I like to hear what other people's feedback when they walk in the buildings too.
Mm-hmm. I'm bringing a guy to Dayton Public Schools. His name is Gabriel Lofton. He's a superintendent of Xenia Public Schools. He used to be the assistant superintendent in Cincinnati Public. And when I would go to Cincinnati Public, he was the supervisor of their 15 high schools. And we would walk in and all those schools would be spotless. I'd go down 5 or 6 times a year. He'd take me to 3 or 4 buildings each day. And that was blazed in my mind. That was in 2013, 14, 15. And then I left for a while. And then once I came back, it was probably the best thing that happened. I came back to Dayton as the business manager. So I got a chance to really know the operations people. And so I got a chance to participate in that process. And I think that we have one of the best teams around. We participate in joint professional development with the other custodial teams from around the region, the other 16 school districts in Montgomery County and some in Greene. And I think we have some of the best teams out there. Tiffany, tell us why we get it done. Why do we do this?
I think for us, we believe in what we do. Dayton is full of can'ts, won'ts, shouldn'ts.
Ooh.
And we can,
Ooh.
and we shall, and we
I
will.
love it.
I like that one too.
I love it.
I think we all
Okay.
believe that.
That's a shirt.
All right.
That's a shirt.
This is our leader.
Yeah.
That's
one of our
You know
leaders.
what? We had lots of shirts. Keep the main thing. Mission possible.
Yeah.
Shoot, y'all have on y'all shirt today.
Right.
Compassionate, caring, loyal, warm, reliable, and dedicated.
And we are
Everything
dedicated.
is
Yes.
That's
Yes.
another one.
Yeah.
Ryan and Alex queued up. That's another shirt. Jordan?
I do it for, I feel like the building's my home. I'm there 8 hours and more throughout the day, sometimes 10, sometimes 12 hours a day. And I feel my job is to make it presentable for whoever may be coming in the building. And I hear compliments all the time. We got the best or the cleanest building in the district. I think they just say it because I'm there. They know my reputation. And I try to keep that reputation. But I know Stivers is a monster. It really is.
It is.
And
226,000 square feet.
it's a lot.
It's a monster.
Yes, it is. But we do our best every day to keep that building clean and presentable for whoever may be coming in that door.
I used to come to the operations/custodial meetings, and what I noticed was that there's a friendly competition. That if you can help out, like I've noticed situations where the other custodians that had to go together to help out to get a building together, and they jump right in. So there's collaboration for sure. There's commitment, but there's also, it's not one of the 5 C's, but it's also like a friendly competition.
competition.
It
Oh,
is.
yes.
Yeah, look
It
at
is.
that. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Because he made the mistake and said Stivers, but Horseman. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on. We talking.
You know,
we at the
I mean,
top.
hey,
And
look,
Eastmont is coming next.
look, Horace Mann used to have a legendary daytime head. I mean, she's sitting right next to my right, or if you're
Mhm.
looking at this to the left, Katina. So she was a true. So yes, it's a friendly competition,
Yeah.
and I think that's a good thing.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I
yes.
want to ask you something about relationships. You know, as the podcast host, you have to intertwine or interweave your personal experiences with the question to listen to the feedback that you get. And when I was a high school principal, the custodian was the person that I talked to the most. So I came early, and the person that would beat me there would be the
Custodian.
head custodian. If something happened on the weekends, it's a Saturday night, and I'm out with pizza and my kids, and the alarm goes off, who am I calling?
The
Yeah.
custodian.
Custodian.
That radio at the high school level, you use it for everything. Mine was Ross Coleman. His number was 05. My man Ross Coleman. Ross Coleman, if you're watching, happy retirement. So 05, Ross Coleman and I, we talked all day long. 05, I got a situation with steps back here. 05, we got some kids who came late to the cafeteria. They messed it up. 05, we had a situation here. Somebody, their lunch didn't sit right. 05, all day long. And so let's talk about the relationship with the leader, the principals, and what should that look like?
Well, it's funny that you brought that up because I've experienced that today. When I first started with Eastmont, they were having trouble with order in the cafeteria. So me and Katina had a conversation with the principal. We was able to come together and to build something so we can help, get get lunch together, because it was like a little bit of chaos. But we all came together. It worked out great today. And back to what you were saying, it's very important to have that relationship, not only with just the principal, the teachers, the paras, whoever, everybody, because like I said, it takes a village to raise a kid, and we have thousands, hundreds of children in that building. So it's beyond just the teachers and stuff like that. So that's why I told them, anytime y'all need help, in the cafeteria, if there's someone that doesn't, that's not there, I will jump in and help, no problem. Sometimes we correct the kids, and just like you said today, I have conversation with the girls. They like the little boys and stuff like that. So yeah, I love the fact of building relationships and talking to them, and and also with our supervisors, if we have any problems, we can call our supervisors and have meetings and figure out a way where we can keep the building up and clean together. Mm-hmm. So
Yeah, relationship with the leaders.
Yeah.
How important is that?
Very important. When I was at Stivers, I was the assistant custodian, and I was promoted to the night head custodian. And Chief Dooley was my first admin, and Dr. Lawrence, you were admin as well.
I was the assistant there.
I believe you had hair then.
I did.
And so did I. So did I. But
Right, you see that shade? Cut that part out.
that's gonna make us go viral. But relationships are very important with admin, teachers, and you never know who's gonna be your boss. So just maintain your relationships, a great relationship with everyone, and keep everything positive. Yes, sir.
Katina?
Good relationships. When I was at Horseman, I did have Megan Winston as a principal too. Communicating, and the communication is the key right there, first of all, because going back and forth with a custodian and the principal, like you said, a person like a head custodian is the first person there. Principal is there too. So then communicating with them to know what's going on in the building, that way you can share with the assistant custodians also talking to the teachers too. So everybody be on the same page as far as with the students. As far as like with the communication with the principal, I want to go to Miss Moss too and Megan at the same time, but they was kind of like mentors to me though to help me grow. And as I was growing, watching what they do, as they talk to the students, made me step in and do it too in the cafeteria as far as with the kids in the hallway. When they wasn't there, I was able to step in and do the things that they usually do in the hallways with the kids. So communication is a good thing.
Now, for those of you who don't know the back end, and I'm going to come to you in a minute, Jordan, the back end of what happens, you don't always see this. When we close schools, we have a weather call. And there's about 8 people on that call. And those are the people that control closing the school district. So before I say to Alex Kincaid, hey, make the call, we're out of here. I talked to those 8 people, safety and security, assistant superintendent, some business manager, a few other people. But one of the persons on the call for sure is Tiffany Powell, because when we close schools, sometimes kids are dropped off because parents don't get the message. Now, I've been closing school early. Let's close the school, let's move on. I'm not, look, we know what it is. But sometimes if you close late, and sometimes you have to, the parents don't get the message, or guardians, and kids show up, and then guess who's there to help them? The custodians. And so, Tiffany, you deal with the principals district-wide, and for lots of different things. Why is it important to have that relationship with not just them, but they mentioned other leaders in the district based on your job as a director?
I think with the principals, having that one-on-one communication, because we understand each building is a little bit different, and at any moment in time, something could happen. Mm-hmm. As you build relationships with the principals, you kind of gain that trust and they feel comfortable talking to you. So if something happens or they foresee something happening, then they can send a text, they can send an email, they can call right away, and gives us the opportunity to jump on it sooner before it becomes a big issue.
I love it. Jordan, it's relationship with the adults in the building, because you all have me changing the question now, not just the principal, but the leadership of the building, right?
Right. I mean, you want to have a good relationship with everybody, teachers, paras, principal, assistant principals,
nutrition
and let
services.
them know that you are there for them. You know, you want to be everybody's friend, and you want to let them know that they can count on you. And, it's just not, you're just not there to do your job. You're there to be a part of the atmosphere, to help create the atmosphere. And custodians have a big part in that.
I think what you just said is important. I practiced my podcast stuff the night before. I have an elaborate script. I send it in, and Alex has to go over it. And there's a teleprompter right over there. I can read my stuff. And
we're already informed you're not scripted.
Right, script out the window. So you said something really important about the culture of the building. And you're important to that too.
Yeah.
When people think about I'm sure they don't think about the 5 C's all the time, but culture is one of them, right? And the building culture isn't just the teachers. The building culture isn't just the principal. Mm-hmm. The building culture isn't just the kids. It's those other pieces that are around it as well. And I'm glad you brought that up, because you are part of the building culture.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And I tell you what you also are. I just finished watching. I don't get a chance to watch much TV. So when I say this, you're going to be like, oh my God, he's so behind. Mm-hmm. I just finished watching Scandal.
You are behind.
Yes.
A few years.
10 years?
Yeah.
Yes. It's only been recently. I've turned up a new leaf in my life. It's called recreation. Mm-hmm. I used to not do any of that. And so now I do that from time to time. I have some recreation time. So I've been finished watching Scandal. And there's lots of clandestine people in there, secret people in there, CIA people who are spying on people, information. And I got to tell you something. You all, when you're in the building, you see everything.
We do.
We do.
Right?
No, everything.
Y'all see everything. Look, people think y'all not listed.
Yeah, you walk and have the private conversation when they talk about the principal behind her back.
Exactly. That part. So, given that you see everything, let's talk about kids first. Are there any kids that you go like, man, this is one of my favorite kids, or the kids when they see you, they can't wait to see you? Like you're their person. Does that exist?
Yes.
Yeah,
Every
that's so
day.
fun, isn't it?
Every day. I have a few,
Okay.
from kindergarten all the way up to 6th grade. They all
Okay.
my babies.
Right,
They
right,
are my
right.
babies.
Mhm.
And I just enjoy the way how they smile and they walk up because they make me feel good too. I could be having a bad day that day, and a kid can just walk up and be like, "Hey, Miss Nikki, it's nice to see you." They give you a little hug. They give you like little cards and little flowers they done pick from the yard
Mhm.
somewhere. And I was like, "Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you." But yeah, I have a lot of them.
Jordan?
I love every one of them.
You sure?
I
You
don't
high
know their
school.
names. I don't learn
Are
names.
you
I'm bad
sure?
with names.
Right.
And I try to show them my love through my work.
Mm.
And when I walk through
Mhm.
the halls, there could be playing going on. I'm the custodian. When they see me, they stop.
Oh.
They're done. But when I turn my back, they're continuing. But when I come through the hall, they
Right.
stop.
So it works.
But I love them. I love every one of them, and I do. I try to show them my love through my work.
Well, I want to let you know I saw some of your work today. I was in Stivers for a 7:30 meeting with Miss Minor, the associate superintendent. And before I left, I do this on purpose. I don't use the staff restroom. I always use the kids' restroom to see if they're clean.
Yeah.
I went to use the restroom. It's in the up the ramp, right past the nurse's office.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
if you're going south, it's to the left.
Yeah.
And spotless.
That's good.
I mean,
We've been
spotless.
we've been
Good to hear.
short staffed lately, and
Yeah.
it's been rough. It's been a rough week, and I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, it was looking good.
That's
It's looking
good.
good.
Everybody's
Seriously.
been working hard in that building this week. It's been rough.
So I did get a chance to see your work.
Thank you.
Yeah, you have some kids that you just go, man, you're out the game now. I mean, do you still know kids?
Yeah, I do. And I thought, well, when I left Horseman, it was sad to see me go. And when I
Mhm.
announced that they was
Oh,
they
the
was
kids
hurt.
were devastated.
Yeah, they were.
Mhm.
And
They took it out on me.
No, they didn't.
They really did.
They took it out on me.
That bald head man.
Yeah, I came all up in there. They say, "You the one took her out of here." I'm like, "She got a promotion."
Yeah,
like,
that's
yeah, like that's how this works, right? In life,
Yeah.
you're gonna go to the 5th grade next year. You're in the 4th grade. You get a promotion. Everybody get a promotion. And they went crazy on me.
Yeah, so as time done went on, as me and Mike go through buildings and stuff, I see them all the time, and they run up. And I thought maybe the high school kids wouldn't do that, but they do. And
Mhm.
we could be walking in there, run and grab my neck, like, and some of the other kids like, "Who is that?" "Oh, that's Miss Katina." But yeah, they'll tell them who I am, and then tell them I don't play and all that other stuff. So I love it, and I feel like that we do put an imprint on the kids as far as like what we do, and they don't never forget it. And the kids come to us sometimes when they don't go to anybody else and talk about their
Yes.
problems,
Mm-hmm.
and they do. I done had so many kids do that, and I enjoy it. And then from the times I didn't have to get on them about stuff, they appreciate that too, because seeing them as high school kids and then they bring up something like that, about anything that was said to them, and for them to remember that, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I know we have custodians throughout the district. I see them greet the kids in the morning. Antoine
Mhm.
Cunningham is one.
Oh,
He will high five every kid in the building.
Principal Cunningham.
And no,
Have people ask me, "Is he one of the principals?"
but we have our head custodian at Kaiser. Shout out to Andre Stroud. He had the opportunity to transfer buildings and didn't want to do it because he didn't want to leave his kids.
Oh, wow.
So he opted to stay because he was so attached to the group of kids over there at Kaiser. So they do. Our staff feels it
Mhm.
every day.
Mhm.
Yeah. There's some, awesome stories out there. And because you supervise all of them, you get to hear all the stories.
Yeah.
I get to call Tiffany and ask her about them. And I want you to know that when you send me pictures of buildings,
Mhm.
I want to let you know I take them and send them to other superintendents and be like, "What's up? What? You see that? You see how we roll? You see how we roll?
What?
Right? You see that? You see that? You see that?" I just send them right on to the other superintendents.
Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. Facts. A huge cheerleader of operations and the custodians. I'm seeing my cue in the back. I have my closing question. Most of you, not most of you, all of you, I can see it. in this podcast for the people who are, if you're looking at me, you can't see them, but they're DPS through and through. And I, because of my job, have to be the salesman, the chief salesman or marketer of the district. But even if it weren't part of my job description, I would, because I am a DPS guy. I've left twice, and I've always come back, and this is probably where I'm going to in my career. What would you say to those people who they talk about DPS really bad, and it's lots of player haters out there? In fact, I got a text message this weekend with a YouTube of one of Dave Chappelle's skits called Player Hater, and it's hilarious. And so there's a lot of player haters out there on us DPS. What would you say to them? They've not been in our buildings. They've not been around our kids. They've not been around our custodian team, not our teachers, or any of our staff, our office staff. What would you say to those people who have negative things to say about DPS?
Come see us.
Oh.
Come
I
see
see you,
us.
Miss Dickey. You said, come see us.
Come on.
Okay.
Come break bread with us.
Come volunteer.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
I
I'll
say
say,
come volunteer.
Come volunteer and just don't believe the hype. And come witness it for yourself.
I love it.
And you'll see the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Be a
And-
part of the solution.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
correct.
Mm-hmm.
and don't believe the rumors. I mean, I done worked in another district, and to me, DPS is better than that other district that I worked at. So I feel like that people don't need to sit here and believe the rumors and come and join DPS. I love my job,
Mm-hmm.
and I have fun though too. And then when I think about it, I don't think there's any other place that I would want to go. I got so many memories with Dayton Public Schools, and it is a fun job. It's hard sometimes, but for the most part, it's a great place to be.
Mm-hmm. Jordan, what say you? What would you say to him?
Yeah, I would have to tell them, come see it for yourself. They don't know. They obviously don't know if they're saying bad things about DPS. Custodians, we see the behind the scenes, and there's a lot that goes into DPS. And if you're not willing to make a difference, we don't want you here.
Yeah.
We don't want you here.
I love it.
I agree.
Me too.
Me too.
Okay. Okay, I got 5 Tupacs here, us against the world.
Look, tell them, don't hate, congratulate.
Well, hey, listen, this concludes episode 2 of DPS The Next Level, season 3. I want to say nothing but love to the operations team, the custodian team particularly. I worked second shift once with the custodians at Thurgood Marshall, and that might have been one of the best nights I've had. We had so much fun. I didn't realize you all were having so much fun in these buildings while we were in meetings, we're at games. I said, they're back there having a ball and also doing their job, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can do both at the same
Yes.
time.
Mhm.
You can do both at the same time. So again, nothing but love for the custodians. Out.